Hello lovely stitchy friends, I'm Kat and I'm delighted you could stop by my channel, Catkin and Lillie, where we talk all things cross stitch. It's the 8th of April and I'm here for FlossTube episode number 45. So we're going to be catching up with all my stitchy goings on for the last couple of weeks. And as usual, there's quite a lot of stitching to share and lots of stitchy related things as well. I've got a finish. I kind of thought I didn't have a finish, and I definitely don't have any FFOs, that's fully finished objects. But I do actually have a finish. You'll see why it sort of dropped off my radar maybe. Lots and lots of whips, as you might expect. One new start. So yes, that does mean the whip count is going up because I've got a new start and I still haven't actually got any finishes. Well, I have, but it doesn't count. Oh, anyway, we'll get to that. New stash, lots of lovely new stash, some new stash for me and some new stash for some of you because I also have the winners to draw from my giveaway for 10,000 subscribers. I still have to pause before I say that every time. I'm not quite sure. I was hoping it might have sunk in by now, a couple of weeks later, but no, that's, it's still crazy. Thank you so much. In fact, thank you to a whole load more of you who have been subscribing since I was here 2 weeks ago. Absolutely wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much if you're a new subscriber and a new viewer. And of course, thank you to all my returning viewers for coming back to spend more time with me. It's just an absolute, it's a delight really to sit here, share my cross stitch with you. Yeah, it's wonderful. And of course, at the end of the video, I'll wrap up with some plans and a little bit of AOB. There's not a huge amount of AOB, to be honest. But let's start with the finishes. The finish that I'm not counting. Okay. The reason I'm not counting it is because it was my design that I was test stitching and I don't put that in my whip count. Which I could, but it just gets complicated. So I tend not to. But I did finish it and you may well have seen these already. Obviously my lovely Patreon stitchy friends have seen these. A few of you have been buying the sheep already, which is fantastic. Thank you so much to anyone who's bought them already. And I've shared them on Instagram. But I have got them here. Where's my little board? So I will show you as well. So this is my rainbow sheep row. And it's a row of 7 little multicoloured sheep. And I just thought they'd be really versatile. So what you'll see is I've stitched 5 of the 7. That's 5 of them. I love how colourful they are. They're so sweet. So I stitched 5 of them like that, and then let me bring in, I'll see if I can put this one, I will see if I can put the other one, it might hang out on my board here. This might fall off. I'm going to put my hand underneath because we all know what happens here. Something ends up on the floor. It really wouldn't be one of my videos, would it, if something didn't end up on the floor? But, oh, it's staying. Okay, so I think you can see I've stitched this one. I stitched on a bit of linen because I just wanted to see the contrast of stitching it on something else. So it's just on a little scrap. And then this little guy, you can't see him super well. Move him over here. There we go. He is on 18 count perforated paper. And that was just really because I figured these could be made up into, you know, with this little guy, he could be made into a little key ring or a fridge magnet, cake toppers, honestly, loads. Actually, I tell you what I did think he would really make, it would be fabulous, would be maybe a little needle minder. I'm wondering if I can back him with felt or thin card and then put a magnet on the back. If I can get a nice strong one and I could make him a needle minder, that would be too cute. Anyway, so that's my finish, but it doesn't help my whip count. But I was still very excited to have those finished. I'm quite looking forward to if I can find time to stitch some more of them in different ways and also maybe finish these ones up into something as well. The individual one, this one, I thought would make a really cute little greeting card. Anyway, that's the sheep. If they take your fancy, they are available to buy the full pattern set in my shop on Etsy. And there is a free extra sheep, which has got all rainbow colours. That's available in my Patreon membership. So, lots of sheep. So that was my surprise finish that I had sort of forgotten about. Now, something else that feels like a finish but isn't a finish is the first of my whips. So that is my works in progress. And there's a few that I don't have to share with you that I often do, but I'm not really surprised because actually there's quite a lot that I'm working on at the moment that are sort of active whips. I've got a few that are definitely inactive, not touching at the moment, you haven't seen for quite some time. But the ones that are definitely active but haven't been worked on for the last couple of weeks, Arctic Animals, I still haven't figured what I'm doing with the final part of that, with the text at the bottom. Gaia has, well, there's a reason because I've been working on other fancy lady stuff, which I will show you. And the Winter's Gift, that has also not finished the beading, and Four Seasons Spring. Just haven't managed to get to that one. But I have got seven whips and a new start. So we've still got, it's just as well as a few I haven't brought to show you. And this is a very exciting one to start with because it's the Sorceress. So we do still have a fancy lady in here. Just as well, really, it would be a very weird episode, this, without a fancy lady and without me throwing something on the floor. That would be a weird one, wouldn't it? Anyway, first whip out the gate, The Sorceress by Joan Elliott. Started this one, I'm actually looking at on the 5th of March 2024. So we're over a year now. I don't like my whips to hang around for too much longer than maybe 18 months or so. And I had the ridiculously ambitious goal, a whip go goal for March to finish all the backstitch, which I had to downgrade myself slightly because when I realised a couple of weeks ago, I told you it was a silly, silly goal because there was far more backstitch than I realised. So I downgraded it to just finishing all the non-metallic backstitch, which I did. And then since then, now we're a week into April, I finished all of it. So I've got the picture up for you of where I was last time, which I'm going to say, I don't know, the backstitch is a little harder to see on the picture compared to this one, but this is backstitch completed. Oh my goodness. That is just, it looks so good. She's even had a little iron this morning. And let's bring her in, and I especially want to show you because I've done a lot of backstitch on that top section. You can see all around the candles, on her hat. She has a face. The face looks lovely. And then as I bring it up a little bit, there's all that spider webbing sort of around the middle, wherever that band around the middle. I don't know, there's a big wide belt maybe or something else. So much backstitch all on the dress. There's loads all down around the chair, obviously all onto the bottom, all around the cat, the globe. Just absolutely delightful. Yeah, that was a little bit of a mission, and I'm not going to lie, the very last bit of it, I was actually finishing this last night, and it did feel like a tiny bit of a slog. I was actually getting a bit annoyed with the backstitch by the end of it. Now, a few of you have mentioned that with the Joan Elliott's, there's always a lot of backstitch, and best not to leave it all till the end. You are very right. Thank you for the advice. I will not be leaving it all to the end next time. I think what threw me was my first Joan Elliott that I backstitched was The Winter's Gift. And it had quite a lot, but nowhere near as much as this. So I think I just had no idea that this one was going to be so much. The Winter's Gift was nowhere near this much. So I really, really didn't realise, and now I do. So Joan Elliott's I will be backstitching as I go along. I don't find the Bella Filipina fancy ladies tend to be as bad, but I might do a bit on those as well as I'm going. So maybe Gaia needs a bit of backstitch as I go. But definitely for the Joan Elliots. And do you know what? I actually don't mind backstitch. I'm not someone who doesn't like it. I quite enjoy backstitch. And I quite enjoy cross stitch with metallic threads, as long as it's a nice metallic thread. Really don't mind that at all. What I've discovered I don't really like is metallic backstitch. Because the metallic threads for backstitching, they're just that bit thicker. It's really hard to get them to look neat. I'm still not convinced. Some of this, I don't know if it just looks a bit messy. I don't think it's anything that I've done that's messy. It's just that it's such intricate detail. And when you're doing that with even a very fine metallic thread, this is all Kreinik number 4 braid, which is a thin metallic thread. I don't know. I think the overall effect is amazing. Some of it looks better than other bits. But yeah, metallic backstitch, I think that might be my nemesis. I think I found the thing I don't like, because I don't mind French knots either. There's a lot of stuff that people don't like that I don't mind. Metallic backstitch, that's going in as my number 1. Really don't like doing that. But it is done. So, just beading, just beading. I don't think I'm going to get to that for a little bit. Still got beading on the winter's gift to go, and I think I'm going to need a little bit to psych myself up for the beading on this, because I actually think that might be quite epic as well. So you might well not see her for a little bit, but yeah, really pleased with where she's at. I hope you really enjoyed seeing that. I know you guys have been really enjoying it. But we've got more whips to get to, so we better crack on. Next up is the Deadly Aquarium SAL by Lola Crow. And if you're thinking, I'm sure there's a Lola Crow SAL at the moment and it's called Extraordinary Birds. Yes, there is, and it is. Because this is the SAL from last year, was the Deadly Aquarium. And I'm still working on it. But we are getting closer, we're inching closer every time. I keep pulling this one out. It's the one I work on when when Liverpool football matches are on. And it is making really good progress. So I will show you where we have got to. Yes, that is where we're at. So I was working, I'll bring it in because I was working on this Don't Touch Pool. I'd done most of it, but it's just this bit here. I was working on this Crown of Thorns starfish, I think it is, and the sign, and the little blue-ringed octopus, who just looks so cute. It was that section. I thought I'd have it knocked out a bit quicker than I did, to be honest. I found some extra little bits of backstitch that needed putting in. Yeah, so it did take me a bit longer to finish, but it is done. Apart from the eagle-eyed of you might have noticed, I said I was going to leave this Eadley aquarium and show you the comparison with this sign. So up here we have one strand of backstitch for the Eadley, 2 strands for the aquarium, and I wasn't sure. I didn't like 2 strands was what was called for. I thought it was a bit chunky. I thought I was going to go for 1 strand, and then someone very kindly mentioned sulky 12 weight cotton, which is what I've used here, and I think it's a winner. I'm really pleased with that. I think that was absolutely bob on. Looks really nice. So that's a win, because that was just, yeah, so pleased with that. I didn't bring it here with me, but yeah, sulky 12 weight cotton. It is somewhere in between 1 and 2 strands, and because it's thicker than 1 strand of DMC, but not quite as thick as 2, but also because it's only 1 strand, it just lies nicer. When you're doing 2 strands, if they don't lie nicely next to each other or whatever, it can look skinny or chunky, and in this case, I think they were just splaying apart a bit. It didn't look as good. the sulky was brilliant. So, so good. The but in this situation is I have to unpick this bit. This is my sad face, because that is going to be so not fun unpicking that. But I did want to leave it in there, not least because I don't really want to do it, but also so I could show you guys and say, look, this is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend. I will unpick that. By the next time you see it, I will unpick that, redo it, and then we are over to the crocodile that's in the bottom right hand corner. That's a big boy, but that will be pushing it towards the finish. That's the final area to do, so very excited for that. Now we are still in watery realms for the next whip, which is The Mermaid's Realm by Joan Elliott. So more Joan Elliott, but obviously very different style to the Fancy Ladies. And I just love this. I love this. It's still being my breakfast stitch, so picking it up, popping in a couple threads in the morning when I'm having my coffee. I've already done that this morning, popped in a couple of threads, and yeah, it's looking so good. Here is where it's at. Starting to look absolutely fantastic. Well, it's always looked fantastic, but it's nice the more you get, you really start to get that impression of it. And that is now, as of this morning, I've literally just finished up this little bit, these little stitches along here and this section. And you can see I'd already made a start on, I had a couple numbers, I think. Actually, maybe more than a couple last time I saw you, or did I only have a couple? I don't know. But yeah, that's really looking amazing. Now, I did say I was excited to get to the number part of it because there's some sparkly backstitch to go around there. Well, after what I told you earlier with the Sorceress, I'm slightly less excited by the metallic backstitch. Terrified might be the better word. It is the backstitch for this, for the metallic thread. I've got the Petite Treasure Braid. Now I think Petite Treasure Braid, a lot of them are a tiny bit skinnier than a Krynic number 4. So it might be all right. But the Sorceress is 28 count, this is 32 count, and I'm worried it's going to look too clunky. But the only way I'm going to know is to get in on it. Now, I haven't, because when I pick it up in the morning to do my breakfast stitch, I just want kind of nice, really easy stitching. And the metallic back stitch is not going to be that nice little, just pick it up and do it kind of thing. So I will perhaps pick this up again, maybe even later today, and I need to pick it up at another time and just have a play. I've got a few different colours of treasure braid. I've got the called for, but I've got a few others, and they do vary. Some are actually slightly thicker and some are slightly thinner. And I also have at least a plan B and C if those don't work out, if I'm not sure about that. I've got some other options. So maybe terrified is a bit of a strong word. I just think it'll need a bit of faffing. We can cope with that. We have got next the Stitches Book Club SAL by Cloud's Factory. So this is a current SAL. I'm not caught up. I started a little bit late on it, so I'm still slightly playing catch up, and the first section was a little bit bigger than parts 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, we've just had part 4 out at the beginning of April. So we've got, you'll see up there, we've got some fabulous authors to be stitched. I'll show you where I'm up to. This is where I am, which is at least good progress from last time, because I've finished the Mary Shelley section, which is just, it's so cute. I love this little picture on the wall, so cute. The books are gorgeous. And then I've made a start. This is the Jane Austen section, and there's quite a lot of stitching in that section. But hey, that's quite a good start on that. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I've managed to, when I pick it up, it does actually stitch quite quickly. Some of it's a little bit more fiddly, but most of it is, it's really quite quick to stitch. Really minimal backstitch. So absolutely loving it. But as I say, I've got the Jane Austen section to finish. Then I've got the Edgar Allan Poe section. And then the new one is the Stephen King section. So lots of exciting things to see. I just realised my board is sitting in the way there. That's a bit. Let's move that. Yeah, so really, really excited. I think I am, it might not feel like it, but I think I am catching up. I'm a little bit further along every time a new part comes out. So let's see where we get to by the beginning of May. Well, you'll see it before then. You'll see it in a couple of weeks' time. You'll see most of these in a couple of weeks' time, apart from the Sorceress probably. Oh, next one, it's the biggie. It's Dragon Race into the Night. This is the one that's, I mean, this is ridiculous. Look, this is what I have to wrangle for this one. My bed sheet. One day I might actually cut some of the excess fabric off because I know it's a big one, but I have still got a lot of excess fabric on here. So let's see if I can get this in some shape on here for you. I don't know if this is going to... It's very difficult. It's probably just me. Right, there is where I'm at. So you'll have the picture next to, so you can compare and see where we've got, which is quite decent. And I've even got, I'm not going to try and point because I think I might drop it if I don't hold on to this very firmly with two hands. You can see I've even got to a little bit of yellow. So it starts to get into, over here, it starts to get, there's sort of yellowy bits of the tree because the sun is shining on there and there's yellowy bits. So yeah, just wrangle this absolute nonsense. Oh my goodness. I never even really know what to do with this. I'm just going to kind of, it's just, there we go. It's fine. That is, I have got my stats, 7,169 stitches. So that is a few because I think last time I'd done about 5,500-ish because I just got to 1% last time, which was about 5,500 stitches. So I've done a few, 7,169. That's pretty good. And that's 1.34%. Yeah. We all know it's going for a while, but absolutely loving it. And we're going to go from my biggest whip to my smallest whip now. Because next up is I Would Rather Be Stitching by Primrose Cottage. And I've got a thread on here, but it's not attached. It's just my needle ready to go for the next one. So I think we'll allow that. This one just gets so scrunchy because it's on very fine linen. But we're, now, I was going to say we're doing well. We're doing significantly better than last time. When I'd made, I wanted to call it a typo. You'll see because the pictures, I'll put the picture up of where I was last time, which I showed you. I'd obviously been working on it. I had it here to show you. I showed you. Still did not notice that I had made a typo, stitch po. I don't know. Spelling mistake. Apparently I can't spell stitching. Well, I can spell it, but I can't stitch it correctly. And yeah, I had sting. I would rather be sting. And I just, basically, I had seen the second T in stitching, thought the S was next to it, and just stitched that. Fortunately, it was a very small mistake. The only bit that was wrong, I'd actually stitched it from the G end of stitching. So very fortunately, all that was wrong was that S and a couple of rows of the grey at the bottom of the beehive. So it was actually really minimal. It was no more than about 50 stitches. So it's actually not that bad, fortunately. And it has now been repaired I don't know if I need to check this again for spelling mistakes. Maybe you can check it for me, because apparently I'm terrible and didn't notice it at all until I was editing, at which point I was like, what? I saw it on the screen as I was editing and went, what have I even done? It took me ages to work it out. I knew it was wrong and I couldn't even work out what was wrong. Well, hopefully it's right now. Shall we see? What do we think? Have I got it right this time? I do hope so. I do hope so. And I've done quite a lot as well. So obviously finished up the stitching, finished the beehive, some of these little bits along the bottom. I've got the spool and scissors, and I've got a bee. And some other bees. A bee and a bee. I love this so much. It's so gorgeous. So really good progress. This one, being so small, is perfect for me to take into work. So that's what I've been doing with that, working on that one in work. Finish next time? Don't know. I'm not going to put money on it. Now, the next one, also small. I am enjoying having a few small projects in there. Definitely need to keep this going. Now this time I have got an active working thread, so apologies. I've also got a tiny dangly thread, but there's a reason for that, and I've left it so I can tell you the reason for it. But the project is Spring Quaker, also by Primrose Cottage Designs, and this is the one that I had a bit of a nightmare with it last time. I didn't like the thread and fabric I'd chosen. I've restarted it, new fabric, new thread, absolutely love it. Stitching this one as a little sort of unofficial stitch along in my Patreon membership. So amazing to see everybody else's progress, which really did spur me on because they were all making such good progress. I was like, I have to actually get sorted on this and figure out what I'm stitching it in. So we now have, some stitching. So I don't think there really was anything to show you to compare it to because it hadn't really got started last time. It's virtually a new start. So this is now in Karen Water Lilies. So I'm using, let me get the threads, I'm using mostly this one, let's put it here, which is, I'm mostly using this gorgeous thread, which is Wisteria. But I've also got, you see, I have this one. This one is Orchid. Yes, Orchid. And it's got really similar shades, can you see, to the lilac, but a little bit of pink in there. So I'm using that, you'll see. I thought I would just add a little bit of that in various places. So you'll see I've done a bit of it just here. This flower is missing its stem. I've done that. That's in the orchid. Everything else is in the wisteria. And then I'm going to use the orchid for, I think maybe there's some birds up in this corner. So I think I'm going to do the birds and there's something else. I don't know. Oh, the butterfly that's down here. I might go for the butterfly in the pinkies as well. So as I have got an active thread in there, I've also got, a little thread hanging out here, which is where I got to with this. And the reason that's there is because if I want to, that's the top of the design, and that's where the border goes across. If I want to try and vaguely colour match, I'm not going to get obsessive about it. But if I want to, when I continue working this border along this way, I want to kind of colour match just at least close to where that was. So I've left that tail because I can match it up with the tail ends of another bit and make sure that I've kind of got it somewhere in the vague ballpark of the same colour. Then I'll tuck that tail back under and finish it off and then go with the new thread. So I do sometimes just leave those tails if I want to try and get at least a close-ish colour match. As I say, you can definitely overthink your root through with these variegated threads, I know I can. But this has actually been really, really nice to work on. Just, yeah, really enjoyable. And I have done what I've stitched here. As far as our SAL goes in Patreon, we've had parts, we've sort of been working on parts 1, 2 and 3, and I've got bits from all 3 parts here, and I don't think I've actually finished any of them. Because I'm behind, I'm just kind of working my way through whichever bits take my fancy. So definitely like to crack on with that one. And because we're on 1, 2, 3, no, I'm not sure if it's quite finished by the time I come back in 2 weeks' time. Probably not quite. So I probably won't have finished that one by next time, I think I'm going to say. And that is all the whips apart from my new start. And my new start is the Secret Garden Stitch Along by the Historical Sampler Company. And I mean, I love a stitch along. I love the Historical Sampler Company, so it's kind of a no-brainer. And they do also very kindly gift me the stitch along. Like I showed all the bits and pieces off in a previous floss tube. So we've had part 1. I will put the picture up. It's going to be a long thin pattern. So this time it's 5 parts. I think I was talking about it last time and thinking it was going to be a part and then in the middle and then bits around the edge. It's not, which I think I would have known if I'd actually read the instructions. But it's 1 part, the first part is in the middle, and then it's going to be parts 2 and 3 out to one side and then 4 and 5 out to the other side. Something like that. But it's 5 parts, all in a long design. So here is where I've got to. I don't know why I'm holding this over this side so you can compare the progress. There's no progress. There's no progress to compare to because it's a new start. I might as well just bring it in for you. So you can see the gorgeous little flowers, start of the birdhouse, and 1 bee. I haven't done his matching friend on the other side. There is, of course, supposed to be a bee over here. I just haven't done him yet. But yeah, that's looking so lovely. No pinks yet. Need to get to some pink. There's lots of beautiful pink colours in here, and I haven't stitched with any of them yet. I can't remember if there's a bit of pink at the top with the birds. But anyway, plenty of time for pink. So that's part 1. I think I've got just under a week until part 2. So not too bad progress if I want to stay caught up, but needs more work. And that is all. That's all the whips. That is all my stitching, everything I've been working on for the last couple of weeks, which is quite a lot. It's quite a lot. So that brings us into new stash. Now I have a few little bits and pieces. I'm not going to dwell too much on all of these. But I did want to share at the time that I was busy buying the water lilies for my spring Quaker, a few more may have jumped in my basket. And when I say a few, I mean another 6. Look at these. If I put my board away, and actually it might help if I do that. Let's see if I can spread these out. I'm not going to give you all the individual colour names. If you desperately need to know, drop me a comment and I'll let you know which colours they are, but otherwise I think we'll be here forever. But I will try and spread these out on my board, which is fluffy and therefore attracting fluff. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I just went for all the sort of pastel springy shades that I thought maybe some of these could have been contenders for spring Quaker. And they weren't in the end. I went with the lilacs, but absolutely love these. So gorgeous. And you can see I have unwound. They come in a nice skein. They don't come like this. This is all me. I've unwound the beautiful skeins that they came in and just cut them into fairly long lengths. You can see quite long so that I can pick bits out. So I've just put them all in there ready to go. So yeah. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Definitely going to be looking for some more projects to use some of those. What else have I got? I bought some I bought some patterns. I bought 3 stocking designs from Doreen Jones. She had a 50% off sale in her shop on Etsy, and I could never resist going to have a look because I adore her patterns. And I'll really quickly put them up on the screen for you one by one. I say I don't want to take ages over it. Might not even do these as stocking shapes. I just love the designs and might stitch the main element, maybe not even as a stocking. But I fell for the gorgeous polar bear. Just, oh my goodness, the colours, just so good. Love that polar bear. And then I saw Santa. Just love that style, that slightly more rustic style, absolutely gorgeous. And then some snowmen. Who doesn't love a snowman? So I got some snowmen as well. So obviously those are not on my cards to be stitched anytime soon. I grabbed them while they were 50% off. Yeah, I couldn't resist. I've also got, again, I'll try and whip through. I've got the Cotton and Twine April box, the subscription box. So I thought I'd just give you a real quick peek at the contents. This is the April design. So it's one of the monthly series. So this is June. More bees. Bees, of course. They're so summery, aren't they? So that has come. I haven't really unwound these yet, but I've got the 32 count linen and gorgeous colour threads. Really love that colour palette. The purples and greens in there are just delightful. And as always, it comes with the frame for it, which I don't know, honestly, if I'm going to have time to stitch this. But the frame, I like the frame anyway, because I can probably use that. We've got a little summery, we have a little ornament. It's not hanging out. We've got a little, really cute little bee. Look at his little face. So we have a little summery bee ornament. We have the tea bag for lovely husband Dr. Tim. And we have the chocolate bar for me. So that's the April box. So lots of lovely goodies in there. And my final little bit of new stash is actually a little bit of Stitchy Kindness, which was sent to me by a very lovely lady. It was sent by Sherry, who has just been, she leaves me lovely comments, sends me beautiful emails, and is a member of my Patreon membership. Sherry, you are an absolute delight, and she honestly couldn't have picked a more perfect chart to send me. This was from the recent Nashville releases, I believe. And I'll show you, because when I opened this, when this arrived in the post, it was so exciting. And when I saw what chart it was, well, yeah. Look at that. Night owl. So beautiful, because I do love owls and I love the colours on that. And it's all variegated threads. It's got a DMC conversion, but I think you'd lose a lot. I think this one would really benefit from the variegated threads. They've used Threadworks. So I will definitely be looking to see if I can find something similar in another brand for that. It's only got 4 colours in it, so I'll show you again. I don't think that will be too hard for me to find something. I'm pretty sure for the green I've already got something that would be really good. So yeah, I can't wait to stitch that, and because it's small, I can hopefully squeeze that in maybe when I finish one of the other smalls. This one could be my next one to go in there. I hope so, because it's gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Sherry. It was so kind of you. Now, that is enough of stash for me. Let's do some stash for some of you guys, because I have 3 prizes to draw. 3 prizes. I better crack on with this. Oh, I meant to take these out of their rustly paper bag and I haven't. I'm going to tip them, see if I can do it with minimal rustling. There we go. Because the first prize that I had to give away was these beautiful cottage garden threads. So 3 lovely skeins of cottage garden threads. The keyword for this one was garden. And the winner is, obviously I will put them up on screen as well, but the winner is Natalia Zikan. Apologies if I butchered your name, Natalia Zikan 2368. you have won the gorgeous threads. Yay! So as for all of these, all you need to do is drop me an email. My email's in the description, so send me an email and let me know that you're the winner and send me your address so that I can get these posted out to you. So that was number one. The second giveaway was the beautiful butterfly project bag. And this one was going UK only. Keyword was butterfly. And the winner for this one is Louise Cowan 9793. Again, if that's your name on screen, congratulations! You have won the beautiful project bag. And last but not least, my third prize is an absolute cornucopia. This was a Love Poppet printed pattern. So this is, well, two patterns. It is this one, the Floral Collection. So you get both patterns. And just look at those. I said last time, I'm quite tempted to get these for myself. So there's two patterns in there. Absolutely beautiful. Really kindly donated by Claire from Love Poppet. So thank you for that. And the keyword for that was flowers. And the winner is Stitching Shannon. So, lots of lovely things to send out to some of you. Apologies I can't send you all something, but yeah, there's over 10,000 of you now, so that's quite a few. But congratulations to those three winners. Drop me an email and I will get those posted to you as soon as I can. So you'll be pleased to know we are getting towards the end of this video, or perhaps not pleased if you actually really like the longer episodes. But we are on to plans. And just, I keep saying it, more of the same. Lots more whips there, still active, still to be worked on. Pretty much, yeah, keeping all of that the same. As far as whip goes, since I've ticked off my March goals, I was on to April goals. We have those, and April is a super easy month for me. The whip goals have been very, very kind to me for April, because I drew new start, which I've already done. I've already ticked that one off because I had my new start with my historical sampler company, Stitch Along. So whip goal number one already done. And the second one was newest. So that's to work on my newest whip, which could have been also the historical sampler company SAL. But just to spread it around a bit, I decided I would pick Spring Quaker because that's my newest. That was my newest until I started the Secret Garden SAL. So Spring Quaker I will count as my newest. So my goal for that for April is just to finish it. There we go. Let's hope I can knock that one out a little bit easier than my backstitch goal for March. So, I say hopefully that's not going to be too taxing for me for that. As far as planned new starts, it's just my birthday start coming up soon. It's fast approaching, and I've been talking about it for so long, and suddenly it's actually not going to be that far away. It's the 2nd of May. It's less than a month to go, and I have not planned yet. I've been saying for ages I wanted to do a long dog sampler for my birthday start, which is the plan. I have now looked at the patterns with lovely husband Dr. Tim as well, and actually we liked really similar ones. So I just thought, again, since it's a big project, it's nice if he's kind of invested a little bit in it as well. So I have not picked fully, but I thought I'd let you know I have 4 on my shortlist. I had to have Saga in there because it's just so good. It's so good. But since a few people are stitching it, I don't know. I kind of want to be a rebel and stitch something else. But I do love it, so I might still go for Saga. I really love the pointed fifth. Again, it's got lots of little critters in it, and I love that. I love the designs that have all the little animals in there. So I do really like that one. I really like Act of God. That one is it's lots of nice border bits in there, but also lots of little critters again. So it could be that one. And my 4th one is a little bit more curveball, is the Fisher King, because it's not as regular design. It's a little bit more random. So I don't know. One of those 4. I don't know. Let me know which one you would pick. Just for interest. I'd love to know which one. Which one do you want to see stitched of those 4? And that's it. That's all my planning really. AOB, just had some nice catch up with family, lots of stitchy stuff, bit of time in the garden, tidying up, putting in new plants. Yeah, that's kind of it really. I will say that if you would like to pick my brains and ask me any cross-stitch related questions, then I have my live Q&A coming up this Saturday, the 12th of April, at 8 o'clock BST, 2000 hours BST. My live Q&A that I do every month in my Patreon membership. So if you've had any questions that you would like to put to me that I can answer, then do come and join us in Patreon and come along for the live Q&A. They are a lot of fun. I hope you all have a bit of a giggle with me as well. And yeah, I just love doing them. And that actually brings me to the end of all my cross-stitch updates. So I hope you've really enjoyed seeing everything that I've had going on over the last couple of weeks. And of course, I hope you've got some of your own stitching done while you've been listening to me. Thank you so much for everything you do to support me, from subscribing to commenting to liking to sharing my videos, just everything. I'm really grateful for all that support. I hope I will see you back here again in 2 weeks' time for another floss tube. Of course, watch out for a tip or tutorial video in between then as well. So again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy stitching and bye for now.